So that is the question. What do you need to do to protect yourself and your family? I want to bring in a special person who knows a whole lot about this. Former FBI Special Agent Bobby Chacon. We've met him 1,000 times in TV, but this is the first time we've sat together.
It's good to be with you.
And I'm sure your friends, even knowing that you're a former FBI guy, after something like this in Manchester, so terrifying and upsetting, are saying to you, Bobby, what are we supposed to do? What do you tell people?
Well, I mean, look, we always hear we can't let the terrorists win. We have to keep going on with our lives, going to concerts, going to sporting events.
And there's truth to that.
And there's a lot of truth to that. That's our life. Sporting events in Europe and South America. I just got done living in Brazil for 3 years before the Olympics there. So I've worked 2 Olympics in security for the FBI. And what we tell people, get there early. Get to, if you're used to getting to a venue 2 hours, get there 4 hours before. And as soon as they open the gates, be ready to go in. Don't be caught congregating in what we call soft targets or open venues sometimes, outside of a, sponsors sometimes put up these events outside the venue, outside the perimeter. Try to avoid those kind of things, in the immediate term. Right now, you see the UK has upped its threat level.
Too critical, yeah.
There's an imminent threat they feel from probably some of the information in some of those search warrants they executed. Now that they know who carried this bombing out, they've been able to connect some of the dots. They may see maybe follow-on attacks. They said a threat was imminent. So when you have an imminent threat like that,
take extra caution.
Exactly, and maybe it's time to just scale back. We don't want to, completely abandon our lifestyle.
No.
But we want to take a little extra precaution.
Maybe.
Exactly.
So you're talking about the investigation. I want to stick with that for a second. They're going to look at the device or what's left of it.
Right.
What do we know about it, and how can that inform them in the course of their investigation?
Well, it's a cliche, but every bomb maker has a signature, right? So that will tell us a little bit about who it was. It'll also tell us when they put it together how far he probably traveled with it, where he came, because you don't want to travel that far.
Dangerous.
Dangerous. So they probably wanted to. They probably built it somewhere locally, and so they'll tie that back. What we do know, it was obviously built to inflict the maximum damage and the maximum injury. We're talking about obviously the people that didn't survive, but you have 60, 80, 90 victims who are going to have lifelong injuries and crushing injuries. The injuries that come out of this thing. You're going to see the injured. You're going to see them as the weeks and months go by. These are devastating injuries that come out of an attack like this.
Oh, and they're just little children, too, and teenagers. It just is so devastating. Several people under arrest now. The bomber dead, 4 people under arrest as the investigation continues. You don't really feel like the lone wolf designation applies anymore, really?
No, and not, when ISIS started leveraging the power of the internet, it put out a new paradigm out there. It said, look, go forth and attack the infidels where they live, as long as you attack them and pledge allegiance to us just before, and we saw that in San Bernardino. They got on and they tweeted just before they did the attack, and then they felt like they can ascend into martyrdom, and that's what they want to do, right? Whether you're dying on a battlefield in Syria or Iraq, or you're dying in San Bernardino, California, it's all about being a martyr for the cause. And so ISIS set up this paradigm now that they can unleash this army of people around the world by setting this thing up, and these people want to be martyrs, and so now they can be.
Strange world, strange times. Thank goodness there's so much goodness in it, and I appreciate your generosity of being here to talk to us about it. And hopefully it won't be too often. As much as I like your company, I hope it's not too often.
Thank you. Me too.